Bonnie Reiss, the Global Director of the Schwarzenegger Institute, who's going to be chairing the next panel. Bonnie, please come up.
Thank you, Dan. On behalf of the USC Schwarzenegger Institute, it's a privilege to be one of the organizers of today's symposium. This room is filled with leaders from across the state, from government, NGOs, academia, business, investors, and student leaders. And while we all care about many issues, education, the economy, healthcare, public safety, war and peace, immigration, and poverty, no single issue will have as huge an impact on our generation and the next as climate change. So keeping a spotlight on this issue, as we are doing today, is great, or as my friend Arnold likes to say, fantastic. Everyone here has played a role in California's status as a leader in environmental protection and climate change action. That status has regions across the US and the globe looking to us, which is why today's primary focus is lessons learned. And from those lessons learned, what we can share to help other regions move forward smartly, as well as help advance our own state's leadership. Obviously, it would take a 3-month symposium to fully address all the lessons we have learned. So today, we choose to focus on the most relevant issues in today's climate debate. Those who are trying to stop efforts to address climate change and reduce greenhouse gases in our state, in Congress, and elsewhere say, well, maybe the science proves there's climate change occurring, but we cannot afford to do anything. They say it hurts the economy and it will cost jobs. That is why we just had an academic panel focused on the economic costs of climate change. And in your program, that is why we listed other research relevant to that issue as well. As policymakers and the public hear about the possible costs of addressing climate change, it is important to highlight the research and data on the high cost of not addressing it. And now we will hear about why addressing climate change is in fact good for business. We get why those businesses making billions of dollars selling fossil fuels do not want any action to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. We get that they commit some of those billions of dollars to fund legal challenges, political fundraisers, and advertising campaigns to scare working families. So it is important that we spotlight all the other businesses and corporate leaders who do not make their bonuses and profit and loss selling fossil fuels. Today, however, we will not be including green and clean tech, such as solar, wind, and renewable energy businesses. While these businesses have added over 300,000 jobs in California in the past 5 years and brought over $223 billion to California's economy and attracted more venture capital to California than anywhere else in the nation, today we do not want to focus on this sector. Instead, we focus on the American businesses that are the largest and most respected in the world and are not associated directly with the new green economy. We focus on these companies, which are major contributors to California's $2 trillion GDP. We do this to directly refute those who say addressing climate change is not good for business and jobs. And while we have 3 such companies here, there are hundreds of others embracing sustainability, huge job creators that are household names. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Allstate, Best Buy, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, eBay, Intuit, Toyota, Ford, Gap, Levi Strauss. The list goes on and on. So let's get this discussion going. And to do so, please welcome to the stage from UPS with over 395,000 employees and $55.4 billion in revenue, Michael Britt. From Apple, with over 50,000 jobs at Apple and supporting over 250,000 other jobs and over $170 billion in revenue, Lisa Jackson. And from CalPERS, the largest public pension fund in the US with over $300 billion in assets, their CEO, Ann Stossball. Please welcome to the stage. And while they take their seats, since today is about lessons learned, I just wanted to say that having had the privilege to serve as senior advisor during Governor Schwarzenegger's administration and been involved in the AB 32 negotiations, one of the big discussion points in passing AB 32 was who should have the authority to implement AB 32. And it was decided that the Air Resource Board should, and that's an important lesson when we're talking with other regions about take care with who you empower to implement these regulations. And I have to also say, before we start this, that there is no single person with the unique skill set more qualified to take on this challenging job than the great Mary Nichols.